everybody. I am your host, Eric Berry. Do me a favor and please subscribe to the show, comment, like, engage in any way you see fit and every way you see fit. Also, we have a phone number, which is 702 So Dirty. You can call in, leave some questions, feedback, whatever you want there. On today's show, Justin O'Donnell. Justin O'Donnell is on the show. We have a very fun conversation coming up. I am here in Austin, Texas. Some good news. I did get a phenomenal, probably the best haircut of my life since we last talked. In Mexico City. It's frankly a haircut that a lot of the guys in Mexico City have, except, the Mexicans, Latinos, have some of the best hair in the world because apparently, according to Google, indigenous people, there's no record of them ever going bald. So that's why Latinos who have that indigenous blood in them tend to have some of the best hair in the world. You'll meet like a 68-year-old guy and they'll have a hairline of a 12-year-old girl. So it makes for cool haircuts that they can do over there. I don't have that kind of thick hair. In fact, I got Rogaine in my hair right now, which is why I have this hat on. Cool hat though, right? Cool hat though, right? I have put on so much weight. I have gained 25, if not more, pounds in the last 6 to 8 weeks. It super sucks. It's not contributing to my physical health, and it's not contributing to my mental health. I love working out. I love running. It's something that, right? Healthy body, healthy mind. Healthy body, healthy mind. But my big toe is still broken. It hurts, and so I'm limited by what I can do, which is kind of depressing. Also, my stomach is in horrendous condition. I've always not had a great stomach, but it's the worst it's ever been, and I'm dealing with a lot of health issues around that and some heart issues. So combine that, healthy body, healthy mind. Very hard to have a healthy mind right now. I am in Austin. It is so expensive here. I don't know what happened to this city. I don't know what happened to the whole world. It seems so expensive right now. But I went out with a special person.
I think she might be retarded.
They have this food truck culture here and they act like that's part of the cool factor, but it's like, no, you're literally lowering your operational costs and then making me do the work, going up, ordering on an iPad, and then charging some premium price and asking if I want to tip 20, 25, or 30%. We went out to this bar and they had like, in essence, like a separate kitchen. Again, you place the order on the iPad and then basically the chef is the guy who hands it to you. And if he hands it to you, you have to go back up and get it. And for a dinky little chicken burger, a dinky little cheeseburger, no sides, I ordered onion rings. It was $50 pre-tip. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not at a restaurant right now. I put 0% tip. This is getting out of hand. For some reason, it charged me $62. And I'm thinking, did they sneak that in there? Do they have a default thing that when you push no tip, it actually ends up putting 22%? I hate the fireworks holidays, mainly because they remind me of being alone. I've historically not had good New Year's Eves and not good 4th of Julys. So I was looking forward to being in Austin for the 4th of July, in the US, rootin' tootin', rowdy towdy.
Rock and rollers and holy rollers. I'm in it to win it. Are you ready to make America great again?
4th of July country, and figured I would find some friends around here to go to a barbecue. Could not make that happen, and then was hoping to do something with this person, and that's not possible. And it was very probably my worst 4th of July ever, in a point in time when my health is not good, physically and mentally, and that sucked. And so I went to go buy stuff to just make a burger by myself alone in this cockroach infested apartment, and then like ran into the person in the store and couldn't finish buying my stuff. And so even that was like getting kind of slapped in the face with shit. Anyway, went to Bridge and watched a bunch of couples and families all together looking at the fireworks, and nope. Anyway, I just want something good to happen in my life, you know. I want to get a win. It's there's a lot of I feel like I'm getting beat up a lot. Literally, wrench to the head, broken toe, bed bugs, cockroaches here, police robbed me, broken body, broken mind, broken heart. Justin O'Donnell, again, absolutely hilarious. Please give him a follow and go see his comedy shows here in Austin. And we had a great conversation that we are going to call Poetic Justice.
There's like there's one I kind of tell on stage sometimes. I don't know if that's an issue for you, but it's
Oh, you're gonna use burnt material on my prestigious podcast.
it's a story about how I came to hate poets.
Which in itself sounds like the most pretentious douchebaggy thing. Like I'm better than poets.
Well, everybody's better than poets. They're the worst type of. Alden told me this. He gave me this tag at Tag Mike. Was what's the difference between an open mic comic and an open mic poet?
One gets laughs.
Well, women feel safe around an open mic poet, but they shouldn't. Is this a book of poetry that you wrote? Oh, you're a poet?
This
Yeah.
This is a moon, and this is a boy and a girl sitting. And if you look at the cover, this is a boy and a girl. This is Against the Moon, available on Amazon.
Yeah.
I think they like automated the price. Where like it would start off at like $9.99, and now it's just $0. It's like you
They
can
just
get
give
it
it
for
away?
free. Yeah.
Can I read a poem out of
Oh, sure. Why don't we do the titular Against the Moon?
it? No, not your favorite one.
Right. Here's the table of contents you can select.
The Gnawing Gnaw. How about that one?
Sure. I don't even remember what that one's about.
So you know it's good.
Yeah.
Look around. It's drawing near. The gnawing gnaw. The monster's here. It crawls inside and starts to feed, painting poems from places you bleed. So already you're kind of like inside baseball. You're self-referential, being meta here.
Am I? Wait.
Well, you're referring to poems. All right. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
All right. It comes and goes from house to house, turning the pretty girls inside out. It climbs the stairs and rides the tracks, putting the pretty boys on their backs. Now I feel bad making fun of this because I know.
No, it's fine. It's just what I'm gonna kill myself to.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, come on. If you're gonna get deep, if you're gonna get real, make it funny.
Yeah. Listen. This is the problem with I'm a genuine. It's fucking. Quill here. I'm a writer, but also a comedian, and they are odds because like comedy doesn't lend itself to earnestness.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a tough. I think I even have like a preface in there that's self-conscious about the fact that I'm writing this, but I also do comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's always this is my problem. I don't actually hate poems.
No, you don't have to backtrack. That's too late now.
I am about to double down on it, but this is what I always say is just like there's a sort of like I don't know. There's such an ego to just be like I'm gonna get on stage without like music or jokes.
How is that any different than anyone else getting on stage? I mean, like.
Well, yes, it is.
You know, I hate when comedians are like, I'm just knowing that I'm bringing joy to people and healing them through laughter. And you're like, fuck you. You have a fucking ego. And you get high off of manipulating people into a particular behavior.
Absolutely. No, I do not. I don't do it for good. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. There's this like, a lot of this stems from jealousy for sure.
Sure.
But just to go on stage with no music and no jokes and just be like, here's my special feelings. Everybody listen to my special I think that's what I hate poetry performances, I think, is what it is.
That was written largely in New York, in Bushwick, Brooklyn. And there is a scene there. There's like a
Poetry
writer, poet. Yeah. And I would come up and I would purposely, like, everyone else would just read. But a lot of those, there's a reason why it says lyrics on there is I'm going to have to edit in my fucking buddy who turned one of those into a song.
I guess looking a foolish man's game, but I still said, hey, I'll give it a play. On top of the trash, marks on your back, it always ends the same way. But you don't know which way to go. Oh, what you really gonna find? Is this killing me or killing time? Restless hearts beat on their parts with undiscovered lies. So restless hearts beat on their parts with undiscovered lies.
And I would put music up behind it, so it was a little bit more. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't less douchey, but it was almost like a little beatniky, little, and I wanted to be a little more theatrical, like a little bit more of a performance. And you definitely, as little pussy as comedians get, you get way less pussy as a poet. Yeah.
So I just sometimes I think, why would you not, if you're a poet and you want to perform, why would you not put music behind it, right? Like that Phil Collins song about watching a guy drown or something.
Unfortunately, none of it's true.
If that wasn't like a banger song, then you're just like, okay, well, now I feel bad and there's nothing, nowhere
that's
for
like,
that to go.
That's like when people were like, oh, this is like a groovy fucking banger, and they didn't realize like Pumped Up Kicks was about a school shooting.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I was in college when that song came out, and they played that in the quad. Like, they blasted that in the quad, and that was like one of the first times I heard that. And I was like, is this about? And then I Googled it, and it was about that. Yeah. And I was like, fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Imagine if there was a school shooting during that.
Yeah.
Just me and the only other guy that knew the lyrics of the song. He's like, oh shit, this is time.
Yeah.
You know? Well, do you remember the song that used to be their theme song for a long time? It was "Are You Ready?" I think it was Hank Williams. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah.
Are you ready for?
Yeah.
Proud of sight, 'cause all my rowdy friends are back for Monday night.
You know what that song's about?
Well, they changed. It's about football.
Yes, it's about football. Blew my mind when I first
They're like, there's no hidden dark meaning here.
What? It's not about getting molested? What?
Oh my God. The guy who's about to molest someone, he's like, are you ready for some football? All right, so you got a funny story?
Yeah. The thing about the guy who I always had like weird, complicated feelings about poetry.
There we were. Yeah.
But this time that really made me just like hate poets.
Yeah.
Was I was at a mixed open mic, which I think mixed open mics, they're the best type of open mics in my opinion.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tangent us again.
Yeah.
Could not disagree more.
Really?
Going back to Bushwick, Brooklyn, when you have someone reading the gnawing gnaw, and then someone comes up and is like, you know, like, hey, so I came in her face, you know, like, it's just, it's troublesome because I do think an audience like with a host needs to be prepped and stuff like that. And a lot of the hosts of these things, the worst thing is when you don't introduce a person by ending on their name, meaning like, okay, so Justin O'Donnell, he's a really funny person, and we want to welcome him. So, okay, please, here he is.
Do that.
And you're like, what the fuck? Like, not, there's like no hype to it. But then also the people, per your Hating Poets thing, that are drawn to go watch poetry or a folk singer or whatever are gonna be not the people who want to hear my joke. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's also, it gets you really good at knowing your crowd too.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
But here's okay. So you've done this in more scenes than I've done it.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from McAllen, Texas.
Okay,
it's on the border.
Yeah.
Texas, and then here in Austin, and then just like randomly outside of, those two areas.
Yeah.
But like I'm not super well traveled or whatever. So like I like a mixed mic because in Austin anyway, a lot of it's just getting you in front of 9 other comedians on their phones. But
you can get a real audience. Like you can get people who have the decency and respect to like watch your.
Well, also you have a little bit of an audience built in too, just like the guy doing poetry or the folk singer, whoever is going to listen to you because he hasn't heard 19 comedians.
Yes. I'll give you that.
So I feel like I get a way more genuine reaction for something I'm trying out.
I'll give you that.
Guys.
Yeah. You should go to Europe because the comedy scene there is amazing. Like the English comedy scene, and the supply, like the demand is here and the supply is here.
Yeah.
And in the U.S., like, I mean, I would say in particular, my opinion, in Austin, it's the fucking complete opposite.
Yeah.
Where it's like people aren't coming to Austin for comedy. Their patrons aren't coming to Austin for comedy. They're coming to Austin for the comedy mothership in Kiltony.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe the Creek, but like, they're not. No one.
Austin's ridiculously saturated.
Yeah.
And I knew that coming here too.
I signed up. I was on 4. I was signed up for 4 mics the other night, and I just didn't bother with 2. I think on both of them I was number 85.
Yeah.
It's like
85. Holy shit.
And it's like, if you even get to me before 2 in the morning, I'm gonna be doing 3 minutes to the host.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Let's hear.
I was at this mixed open mic, right?
Okay, sorry.
And I remember this night there was a girl band on before me. This is back in McAllen. It's a girl band.
Yeah.
So like 5 like hot alt goth chicks.
Yeah.
That are just like the coolest women on the planet, right? And so they get off, and I'm excited because because they're lining up in front of the stage to watch whoever's next, which just happens to be me.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, this is how I bang a whole girl band, right?
Gaggle of goths.
Yeah. Which is, a dumb way to go about, but that's how I was hyping myself up for the set, right?
Sure.
And then this guy who I knew, he worked in that area. I'd spoken to him. He was trashed. He, as I go on, start telling my jokes, he gets in between me and them. And so they're all facing me. All 5 of those girls are facing me.
He's in the audience while you're on stage.
Yes, he's in the audience.
Okay.
Gets in front of them, has his back to me, and is facing them, and he's simultaneously ignoring me.
Yeah.
Has his back to me.
Yeah.
And heckling me at the same, like heckling me over his shoulder.
Oh my God.
He'll just hear, flirting with 5 of the coolest women on the planet, which is like insane ego. That's the, like, Kanye West would be like, that's a lot,
Yeah. Was he upset with you, or was he just trying
he was just drunk and wanted to have sex with those women a lot more than he respected me.
Sure.
So that was just like, it's really like there was no connivingness to it. It was all up front, pretty obvious what was going on with this guy. That he's just an asshole.
Did you address this on stage?
Yeah, I addressed it quite a bit. I think I was still pretty early on, but I got some pretty good like off the cuff roasts. I don't remember any of them now.
Yeah.
But I was making fun of him, but it just kind of fueled him on.
Yeah.
Egged him on.
How were the women reacting to all this?
They were kind of laughing, but they were also super distracted by this guy acting like a buffoon,
Yeah.
Which so they were called. I don't even know if I should say the name of this band, but they were called the Blow Up Dolls. And their gimmick was they had a blow-up doll on stage.
Yeah.
And then so he was like, he got the blow-up doll and was like, I don't know, doing like hitting it and fucking it and stuff. Like air humping it and stuff.
Like this could be you.
Yeah. Kind of. And then, so I have to keep my composure while this guy is doing that. And he's like way more popular than I am, so nobody's gonna be like, "Hey, shut the fuck up."
Wait, why he's more popular?
Just
because of his act?
Not because of his act, just because like he was like a bar back or something in that area, and people like just I guess liked him. He's also like a super like kind of Timothy Chalamet looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
So imagine all of
it's
that
all coming together. I got you.
By Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
And then and so I carried through that set. People told me I did really well for situations.
Sure.
Considering.
Yeah.
And so I get off stage, and turns out he's on next. Didn't even know.
So he's a comic.
No, poet.
Oh shit. Okay, all right.
He's a poet.
I see where this all comes from.
Yeah. And I was like, I knew it. That's the ego. That's where that. And he gets on stage, and I get off stage, and my comic buddies in McAllen, there's only a few of them. They're like, you gotta heckle him, right? Like you gotta roast the shit out of him while he's on stage. I'm like, no, that's never right. I had this like kind of Boy Scout attitude
I got you.
about it.
Yeah.
It's like, and also like, I don't believe in karma, but I do believe if like you're an asshole, people are just the consequences of your own actions are gonna hit you.
Yeah.
And so kind of that's what happens. He's on stage. He's doing his poems, which are not. They're worse than the gnawing.
Which is a very good poem. I should have you know.
Yeah, there's a large gulf in between. He's doing his poems, and he's not getting any snaps. I don't know. Like he's bombing, but I don't know. Also, you're kind of not supposed to get a big reaction.
Yeah, or you need like a little conga riff or something that, like, that shows approval. Yeah.
So, but he doesn't. I guess does not an experienced enough poet to know that. Mm-hmm. So he starts getting mad at the crowd for not reacting in the way he is drunk.
Like,
by
this
the way.
kills in Houston.
Yeah. He is plastered drunk too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that the whole time.
Yeah.
So, and I remember at one point he says something, and he says a word, and I don't remember what the word is, but I remember him saying, like, after that line didn't get any reaction, just like, oh, that word means this. Maybe you don't know what that word means. And like kind of angry and like, and the only reason I remember that, I looked it up afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the word meant.
Yeah.
But because I wanted to know the reading level of that word.
Yeah.
Which was a 7th grade reading level word.
Yeah.
And
what was the word?
I don't remember. I want to say it was like maybe like gnawing.
Right. This is the gnawing gnaw?
Yeah, the gnawing gnaw. No. I don't remember the word. I just remember. See, that's also how petty and egotistical I am. It's like it doesn't actually matter what was said. Just my feelings about it. You know?
I got you.
No, but yeah, he gets mad. He gets off stage.
Which, by the way, comedian, poet. I mean, I'd only thought about it in a comedy context, but like, you can like bomb well, if that makes any sense. Like you can. I mean, I guess I'm saying you end up turning it around, but like, there's a way to recognize it not working that is a good way to recognize it, and then there's a way that just is like digging yourself and like getting angry at the audience and blaming them. And
so like you can bomb and get off stage and have people be like, that guy wasn't funny, but I like him. He seems like a cool, fine guy.
Yeah.
And then there's bombing and getting off stage, and it's like, that guy's an asshole. Like,
yeah.
What a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
But I also think like you can. I mean, the most famous, whatever everyone knows example is like the Bill Burr thing and like Philly, like. But I mean, like you can. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to articulate it correctly, but like you can. How you recognize what's going on is like hugely important, and it sounds like much like a comedian. This guy didn't do that well.
Yeah.
I
think maybe he was expecting a reaction like a comedian, or maybe he was just expecting people to burst into tears. I don't know what he was expecting.
Yeah.
He's like, why aren't they crying?
So when he got, how did he, was he talking with the girls?
I think this is maybe me just filling in the gaps in my memory to what feels best for me.
Yeah.
I think they kind of slowly like trickled out and started like talking to amongst themselves during his set.
Yeah.
For sure nobody liked it. And the more I'm hitting this, the more it just sounds like I am writing a poem about how much I hate this guy. Yeah, so I don't know.
He sauntered across the room. The clanks and
the ego,
the glasses,
cast the shadow.
Yeah. Another shot of hopelessness, please.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Against the Moon, available on Amazon for that kind of top notch.
Available for.
I will pay you to download a PDF of my book.
Do you usually pitch that? Do you usually?
No, you know what? That's the only copy I have, and there's a little bit of like a pussy placement, like because in my traveler's backpack, so well traveled. And I'm like, you wrote this book? There's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of like. Yeah, if I had like an album, like putting up your own fucking record on your wall or something.
I mean, you will always feel like playing yourself up a little bit, even if it's the comedy thing. Like I say, like if I'm telling people about like my comedy, it's like I've been on Kill Tony, and I've been on I performed at Joe Rogan's club, and both of those are just kind of luck. It's like I wasn't really asked to do either of those. No, there's a book I bought like right out of high school called She Comes First. Do you ever hear about this book?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I used to have a podcast about sex and dating, and we did like fucking BDSM demos and all sorts of crazy shit.
That's gotta be crazy to have written the book on eating pussy. Right?
Yeah.
You go to the bar and you just be like, bam, slam that down.
Yeah.
And it's like, so we doing this or?
Yeah.
Took out my helmet and I went up to the bar. All of a sudden this girl, she turns and then she notices the helmet. And it's like my helmet is my wingman. It's on.
Who's the guy? I think he got like unfairly like kind of maligned and like whatever. So the dude who wrote The Pickup Artist.
Oh yeah, was it that mystery?
No,
guy?
he didn't write. Or I can't. Maybe Mystery wrote that shit, but then there was a book before that. I don't know. I'm gonna research this and put it in the editing thing. But no, there was and basically he was saying like there's things you can do that will help you sexually, but like. That also, it's just like kind of common sense about like making women comfortable.
Yeah.
So for instance, it's like,
wait, That's you got to do that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've been trying to make him.
No, I mean, and it's hard to once you hear it, it's hard to unhear it, and then you're like, am I being a douchebag because I'm using it, or am I being like, or am I understanding something about what women want? It's like
so they don't like it when you grab their drink out of their hand and drink it, and say you look like you could use a drink.
I haven't tried that one, but in a weird,
They don't love that. What
they
the-
love it. There's things like you're supposed to like show your bedroom to them when you're at your place, so that when you suggest to go to the bedroom, it's not like there's this crazy creepy dungeon, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a familiar thing. Or like you go when you start at a bar, like don't stay at that, like start there, but then move somewhere else, because then it's like, okay, well, I feel comfortable moving to a different location with you.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And you're like, well, am I a douchebag for doing that? Or does that make sense in a emotional, psychological way as well?
Yeah. So, yeah, okay. But my bedroom is a dungeon.
That's the thing, you're like,
I don't want them to see my bedroom at first.
yeah. Just fucking. Why do you have a meat fridge in your
It just
in your
says
bedroom?
meat fridge on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Why is that the only furniture in your bedroom?
Well, cool. I think we have to go to a comedy show.
Well, that poetry story is not over.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
All right,
actually.
let's go.
All right. So he gets off stage and he's in a bad mood. I know, though, something about me tells me that's not enough. Him bombing wasn't enough punishment for what happened. But I also know, like, I'm not gonna do anything. Just like I said, I believe. Like, there was part of me is just like it'll catch up to him.
Yeah.
In one way or another, it'll catch up to him.
Yeah.
And then I see him later that night.
Yeah.
He's gotten drunker and drunker. I've also gotten drunker and drunker.
Yeah.
And we're walking up the same street. We're walking different directions. And there's 3 women walking towards him with 2 men behind them.
Yeah.
And he starts like trying to talk to the women. And they're not interested. And the men are like, they're with us, man. They don't want to talk to you. And he starts like giving those guys shit and just being like, they want to talk to, like, honestly unaware.
Yeah.
So see, being a poet, you should be at least aware of what's, of what, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was such a funny thing to see him talk himself into an ass beating. They did not.
Did that happen?
Yeah, they did. They didn't want to. Like, they were just like, dude, no, don't.
Yeah.
And then he brought it out of them.
Yeah.
And kind of away with words, this guy.
Sure. Yeah.
They beat him up. They didn't like beat him. They like punched him.
Their fists, my face, forming one unity. Yeah.
They crashed on my face.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And they didn't like stomp him on the ground. They were just like, we have to do this now.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And I still like that night. I still don't love poetry, but I gotta say, this guy heckling me all night and then getting his ass beat for heckling, kind of poetic.
Yay! There it is.
All right. Yeah, and that's
Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice.
I think that's the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Justin, if people want to follow you, where can they do that?
Instagram at Justin O'Donuts. One word, spelled the American. Donut spelled American.
I didn't even know that. I thought.
No U's and G's
No, I got
and
you.
H's.
I didn't know that it was even possible to spell it that way until recently.
Yeah,
I was the
the
fancy
shitty way.
French fucking yeah. Pinkies up way. Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to the podcast, comment, like, share, whatever. I'm at Eric Berry Comedy. Until next week, keep it dirty. What the?
What?
Whoa!
What
the
is
fuck
that?
was that?
Holy
I didn't
hell.
even know that was a...
How did you plan that?
No, I didn't even know.
You poets and your ego.
Fucking, I don't know, some Japanese. I don't know.
That was